Hmm.
That's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna sit down and just ask some questions about some trending topics in the fitness and health industry.
Mm.
Get some advice from a personal trainer. And honestly, I feel like we might disagree on some things. So
I think we will too.
I'm a little curious as to see.
I'm pretty opinionated on some stuff, so we'll see.
All right. What's your opinion on cardio? Like just in general.
Cardio is really, really good for cardiovascular health, endurance, just your overall heart health. But I think it's a horrible tool for fat loss, which is a lot of people's go-to for cardio. Like you think, oh, I need to lose weight. I need to hop on a treadmill.
Right.
And so a lot of people use it for that reason. And so I think that shifting away from that and being like, okay, we don't need to be doing 2 hours of stairs a day. Or like even I know like bodybuilders who don't do any cardio on their prep and they still look amazing. So through diet and just lifting weights alone. So you don't need to use it for fat loss. I just think it's really good for endurance and just helping you live everyday life. You should be more active.
I think there's just a lot of misconstrued opinions on cardio. Like most people think, like you said, they put cardio with fat loss, but it's not. Cardio burns calories, not fat.
Yeah.
You know, you go and do 30 minutes of cardio, and then you maybe you burn off the calories you just ate, but then you go and eat, and it's like you put the same calories back. So it's not actually burning fat. Whereas if you give your body the fuel it needs, like you eat and then you go lift weights and you're breaking down the muscle, it's gonna pull from the fat reserves that you have and also the carbs and proteins that you're eating to build more muscle. So it's gonna start like burning the fat off.
Well, also cardio, like when you're doing that and you're not lifting weights, you'll actually lose muscle because your muscle stores are bigger than your fat stores. So your body is going to automatically try to get rid of anything that's taking up the most stores in order to drop your body fat percent and just drop overall weight. So like that's why, wait, don't screw this up. Metabolism will usually slow down when you start to eat less and do more activity, which is kind of the opposite what we want. We really want the metabolism to speed up.
Yeah.
That way we become more efficient at burning our food, digesting it. So I think that lifting weights is the best cardio for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think it has its time and place, like 10 minutes here, 15 minutes here, or I'll do a program where I'll end with 20 minutes of cardio, but it's more like once I've hit the peak where I want to go and just slim down, then I'll add cardio. It's more bodybuilding stuff, but I'm not going to do it every day for insane amount of time.
More so to just get that heart rate up. I feel like it's nice at the end of a workout.
Yeah.
I just feel like you feel good, endorphins pumping, and yeah.
Exactly. So bottom line, don't do too much cardio.
No.
What do you think about people who just get up and go right into their workouts without eating?
Oh gosh, see, again, I think it's different. It just depends. Like, I know for women, especially women in bodybuilding and women who like get up and will do fasted cardio or fasted workouts. I did used to do that. Now I will have like a protein coffee with like an egg yolk. So it has nutrients and I'm getting something in my stomach.
Who inspired you to put protein in your coffee?
I wonder who. And it's delicious.
Protein coffee.
Do it. For women, when you take like hormones into account and everything, it's like tragic on your body to get up and like start a workout with like nothing in your system.
Yeah.
Because your body's like running on nothing. It's essentially just, it's fasted from the last time you ate like the evening before. So yeah, I don't really like it personally.
I've just found I used to do a lot of fasted cardio, a lot of fasted workouts, eat as little as I could and still work out a bunch, like do 2 a days. Your mind associates, okay, if I eat less and work out more, then I'll get bigger. But it's just so backwards. Even playing into your metabolism point, you have to eat more in order to get your metabolism running, right? You have to fuel your metabolism so it can fire up. Think about a car. If you're trying to get it to go on a long distance journey and you don't put any fuel in it, you're not going to get very far.
Yeah.
It's the same with the metabolism. You got to eat protein, carbs, fats, like a wide variety. With the cardio and the fasted workouts, I've never been a big fan of it just because in my experience, my energy levels would just fluctuate. When I would try to work out and then, have like just a protein shake after and then try to fast again, it was like, okay, you're starving your body and it's going into starvation mode. And so it's starting to pull from, like you said, the muscles. So I'm big on a pre-workout meal, post-workout meal. I do think, on like an off day, I might wake up and eat for the first couple hours, get some work done. I do a fasted walk. It's
Yeah.
low stress. You're not running. It's mainly just to get the circadian rhythm going.
Yeah. Yeah, you should at least have something in your system for sure. It's just going to help with the recovery. It's going to help with everything. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to help with energy. It's going to help you get through your workout faster and better. And you're going to be able to lift more and be more efficient when you're lifting.
The
and
lifting more is huge. 'cause
Yeah.
I remember, well, even today, like, I had one meal before
Yeah,
I workout.
same.
And it was like 3 hours before.
Yeah.
Legs, which is like one of the biggest days.
It's hard, yeah.
Well, I mean, just muscle groups in general. Like when you hit legs, it's like it's a lot. Like you usually go the heaviest, and so you need something to pull from and fuel the workout, especially towards the end when your body's like, "All right, we're done." You're like, "No, I got one more."
Yeah, like I was on the leg press and I like saw stars at one point. You had like
Same.
left and like go get water or something, and Cam was sitting there and I was like, I gotta sit down. Like,
Yeah. So bottom line, fuel your workouts, and honestly, it's gonna be different for everyone. If you feel good doing fasted cardio, just eat after, right? Like it's all about overall protein and calorie intake throughout the day. So as long as you're hitting your goals and you feel good, your energy levels are not fluctuating or you're having a crash in the middle of the day, then that works. But just for the most part, don't try to go into a heavy lifting set on an empty stomach.
yes, just make sure you're getting the nutrients you need. I come home and like raid my fridge when I'm done
Really?
working out. Yes, yes. Like I'm like starving after I work out. So like it's gotten to the point where I have to have such easy stuff like ready to eat.
Yeah.
Meal wise, because if not, like I'll grab like the tortilla chips in my pantry and,
Right, just
and
start
random
munching.
stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've eaten like a whole meal without actually eating a meal. So yeah.
Actually, I do. Okay, I do that sometimes. Especially after like a big leg day.
Yeah.
I'll come home and if I have like even chocolate chips, like I'll just grab some
Oh
chocolate
my
chips and just start
gosh,
eating
yes.
handfuls. So
Eat,
I'll
like,
do
500 calories
yeah.
of chocolate chips.
or protein coffee. I mean,
Yeah.
protein
Can't ever go
coffee's
wrong with
no.
more.
But so far we agreed on those two.
All right.
Next one. Ooh, opinion on ice baths and the relationship with muscle growth. Really cold therapy.
Cold therapy. Well, you put me on to the face plunge. I was taking cold showers like a couple times a week, mostly in the morning to like wake up. Because I was just like so exhausted waking up early, so it just immediately wakes you up. I mean, I haven't really noticed like my muscles diminishing because of it or like growing because of it. I don't know. I feel like it can just get like so overcomplicated, and as like I just think there's so many different things that can define. Like I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say.
What benefits do you see from it? Like why do you take cold showers?
Honestly, to just like wake me up, honestly, and I feel like I wake up and I'm always cold. So if I wake up and I take a cold shower, like your body will heat up like instantly. Honestly, in the winter when I would take cold showers, I hate the cold. Like I want to move to Florida. But I would hate the cold so much if I took a cold shower, like actually being out in the cold wouldn't be as bad in the morning at like 6 a.m. because my body would already be like heated up and ready to go. So that's why I did it. And just for like skin benefits, like you were saying, like it really helps with like acne and clear skin. Muscle wise, like how does it affect?
So I used to take cold showers immediately after a workout because I was like, oh, it's, because I always heard it reduces inflammation and then it's really good for your skin. And so I'd like to shower to get off the sweat at the end of a workout. So I would just do, I'll just take a cold shower. So the science behind it actually says that taking a cold shower, because it reduces inflammation right after you do a lift, it's when your muscles are pumped, it can reduce muscle growth. If you take a cold shower immediately after a workout, the cold therapy will actually like put your body back into shock again, and so like the muscles will tighten up, and it just can reduce the growth pattern that starts after a workout. I still do cold therapy in the mornings, like to wake up, and also for the skin benefits. It's really good to jumpstart your day with, or even a face plunge. It's like a cheat code because you have so many receptors up around your brain that tell the body it's cold. So just by doing like a minute or 2 minute face plunge over and over, it tells the body, hey, we're freezing.
Yeah.
And so it still kickstarts that protein synthesis that's not found anywhere else. So that's why I do it.
Anything like that that's gonna shock your system is gonna like increase your dopamine too. So you automatically like feel better about yourself, feel good about yourself. So like if I'm feeling like in the morning I wake up and I'm super unmotivated and I don't want to go to work or I don't want to go to the gym, like doing that, like I'm alert.
Exactly.
So like I'm waking up, like I'm ready to get stuff done. I just feel like it really helps as far as dopamine goes.
Don't do cold showers after a workout. Is this overrated or underrated?
Okay.
And it's training to failure.
I think it's a little bit overrated to the extent that people use it. Like, I think a lot of people are like failure, failure, failure.
Right.
And for me, it's like I don't train to failure very much. I think that it just depends on the workout. I think it depends on how many times you're doing it. I just think like it feels good to push your body on something like a leg press or something where it's a little bit more doable to crank out those reps rather than like back squatting and going till failure till you basically fall on the ground. Like, I don't know. I just think that it is slightly overrated. Yeah, it just depends on like the context. I like pushing to failure kind of towards the end of my workouts just so I feel like I get the most out of it. Usually it gets my heart rate up. That way I don't have to do cardio. But yeah.
My opinion on this has changed drastically because I used to hear, I can't remember from who, but train to failure, like you got to fatigue the muscle. And people push it like it's religion, but literally if you just get close to failure, maybe a couple reps, you're still going to be tearing the muscle. It's not good to train to failure every time.
Yeah.
Especially like there's some people on their first exercise, say they're going to do like a full workout. If they're already training to failure, you're going to pre-fatigue the muscle before you get into your later sets.
Yes, I agree.
And you can end up actually hurting something or pulling something, hurting yourself. And
I would rather do less reps with better form, better effort, and like hit the weight that I need to hit consistently than just fatigue myself 30 minutes in and then not be able to do good on anything else.
Right. But I think it's important to like go to failure on some things just to like feel what it feels like. Like, okay, that's what it feels like. My muscle just gave out. And so your limits, how to push yourself, and then you can kind of almost make your workouts from there. Like, okay, this is what failure looks like. And then I can now work up to this weight. And so I mean, I think it's something that everyone should know they should know what it feels like to go to failure, but you don't need to train to failure on everything. So as a personal trainer, like what are some misconceptions of personal training?
I do love this question. I think one of them is like thinking they're going to like be absolutely dead after every single workout. So a lot of people think personal trainers like, oh, I'll go to a personal trainer, they're going to kick my ass so hard I can barely walk out of the gym. And I call that a good session. And so I think that, like, that's a misconception because as a personal trainer, like, I tailor the workouts for you. If my client comes in and they're like, I'm not feeling it today, like, I had a really bad night, or I just got broken up with, or my mental health is not that great, maybe the workout would be better by talking more to them, really forming a deeper connection, and, like, less emphasis on the working out part. So like it really depends. As the trainer, you kind of learn that skill of being like very fluid and like just working with your client to give them the best workout they need for that day and just evaluate what they need. As you build that relationship, you'll kind of be able to understand your client's needs. It's a little bit different for athletes.
Right.
Whereas like an athletic coach is like you're showing up and you're getting the work done whether you want to or not. So yeah, I just feel like
they're less your friend. It's more of an impersonal trainer.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, I worked at a commercial gym.
Right.
So a lot of people that would come in there would be like, okay, I want to look like this and I only want to do 3 months of training. And it's like, okay, you want to go from being completely sedentary, horrible diet, maybe in between like 50 to 80 pounds overweight, and you want to look like someone who's in the best shape of their life with the cleanest diet and the best lifestyle. And it's like in 3 months. And so
a lot of change.
I don't think it's doable in 3 months. Making that drastic of a change, it takes a very, very, very determined person. Like the minority can do that in that span of time. And a lot of personal trainers will be like, oh yeah, for sure. Like we can make that happen. But, even when I would get people and I feel like their goals were like, honestly unrealistic for the timeline they wanted, I would tell them. I'll be like, listen, like, you want to do this? These are amazing goals to have. Like, this is great. Like, you can get there. But it's not going to be in 3 months. Like, it's going to take time. And, you might have to take breaks here and there. And you might have to, life might happen. Like, you just never know. So, like, having a goal like that attainable is wonderful. Like, keep those goals within reach. But being realistic as a trainer and being like, okay, like, this is going to take hard work and this is kind of the timeline of what I would suggest how long this is going to take. People go to personal training a lot because they think like, oh, I'll just go here and I'll go for a couple months and then be in the best shape of my life.
Right. They're gonna do everything for me.
And and then I'll be perfect. And then a lot of the times the trainer gets blamed because when they don't see the results they want, they're like, well, my trainer isn't doing the right stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they're not giving me the right things. And it's like, no, like, I think that we need to have that honesty. This is going to take longer than you thought coming here originally. So
don't go to a personal trainer and tell them what to do. They'll tell you what to do.
They'll fix all of your problems because we won't. Only you can do that.
Maybe you should get a therapist.
Yeah, maybe you should. A personal trainer and a therapist.
What's your overall thoughts on supplementing and then like kind of the big three? Creatine, protein, and then caffeine.
As far as my opinion on supplements, like they are what they're called, it's supplements.
Yeah.
Most of your nutrients and minerals like should be coming from your diet. So if you're eating things like red meat, like good fish with omega-3s and fruits, veggies, you're going to get those vitamins and minerals naturally, which I think are better absorbed in the body. Obviously, if you need supplementation, like from a doctor or something, like do it. But I don't think that they should, like, you should be life and death supplements. I think that your diet should be good and they should just supplement what you're already doing diet-wise. My thoughts on, like, creatine and things like that, I just think I think people can really overdo it. A lot of supplements, like foods, have those naturally occurring in them. So like red meat, like creatine is already occurring like in red meat. So you're going to get a little bit from that.
Yep.
I just think a lot of people depend on supplements. Like I haven't taken supplements. Like the only thing I take is like a B vitamin, only because like I know I'm deficient in it.
Right.
And magnesium here and there when I need it. Yeah, I just think a lot of people can depend on it and think that they need this huge stack for like post-workout and pre-workout, and I need this vitamin, and I need to take it this time of day. And a lot of the emphasis should be on getting those from your diet. Whereas if you do need them and your doctor is telling you you are deficient in these things, like through a blood panel, like that's fine, like supplement with those. Creatine can help. I don't have that much experience with it. I just eat a lot of red meat. I just really do. And then, I mean, caffeine, coffee's my everything. Like I cannot give up coffee. So yeah, I just think in moderation. Caffeine is like today's new drug. Like it's way overdone, and a lot of people can easily get to like 600 milligrams without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
So I think you just have to be careful.
And then the last one was protein supplementation, like from protein shakes. And
yeah, if I'm gonna hit my protein intake, I'll do it. I don't care if I need to eat 3 chicken breasts in a sitting. Like I'm gonna do it. But the average person is not going to do that. They're gonna look at you like you're crazy. So I think that if you're having a hard time getting your protein intake in, a protein shake is the best way to do it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I would agree. Most of the time, as far as like, I'm just gonna wait for that train to stop.
Yeah.
There's a train going.
So fun.
As far as protein supplementation goes, I will use protein shakes only when I have to. And I've used them more just depending on what I'm training for. Like, I've got to make sure I actually hit my protein goals every day. Your body digests and breaks down protein the best when it gets it from actual food sources, when it actually does what it's supposed to do and digests the food. And so that's going to pull the protein, the carbs. So supplements, like you said, they're supplements. So it's a protein supplement. It doesn't digest as easy. There's, you know, the whole protein shits. It's a real thing. Like,
yeah, no,
I notice my digestion when I'm doing more protein shakes is a little bit more slow.
Well, it depends on like the type of protein too, because and just supplements in general, a lot of them will have artificial flavorings, sugars, shit in them that really wrecks your gut. Yeah. So if you're not careful and you're doing all these supplements and there's different pre-workouts and protein powders and they're Rice Krispie flavored or they're you know, and like all that stuff.
Where do you think they're getting the flavors?
Yeah, like what do you think is going on here? Promix, like you got the pre-workout from, I get all their protein powder because it's just whey. It's just whey protein. If they do chocolate, it has a little bit of cocoa powder in it, so it's natural.
It's just like 3 to 6 ingredients as opposed to like a whole list where you gotta like squint your eyes and be like, what's riboflavin?
What's yellow 5? Yeah. What's that? Although the protein like might not be horrible, like you can find very sneaky things in supplements.
Yeah.
So.
The body absorbs protein and anything the best when you can do it from like digestion,
Mhm.
the natural way. I'll just try to eat high protein meals whenever I can. And if
Yeah.
I have to, if I'm in a rush, or if I just, think I need help hitting my protein goals for the day, I'll add in a protein shake or a protein bar.
Mhm.
Creatine, my thoughts, I'm honestly pretty similar to yours. And even the studies don't show that much gain
Yeah.
using creatine. There is a slight gain, so like it helps.
It helps your body retain water.
It does.
So it really just makes your muscles look fuller, if that makes
Right.
sense.
You just look bigger because
Yeah.
you're really just puffy.
Yeah, that's exactly
You're
what
puffed up.
You are.
Scientifically, there is a slight increase on strength, but overall, the bottom line is with supplements, I think they're overrated. They're
Mhm.
always trying to push things in your face. It's like, this will help you get stronger.
Mhm.
This will help you feel better. Like, just eat well, and honestly, just eat.
Yeah.
Like, that is, I can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
I threw on 30 pounds of muscle in 2 months, honestly, from just
Yeah.
allowing my body to just eat and fuel. Because I went from training like MMA style, huge cardio sets, these huge endurance style workouts, like HIIT training, anywhere from 8 to 14 times a week. And then I was just keeping myself in a caloric deficit for really no reason all the time. And then I finally jumped from like 1,800 calories to like maybe close to 4,000 calories in a
Wow,
day.
yeah.
It was probably closer to
It's
like
a big
3,500, but yeah. And my body just like was like, thank you, boop.
Were
and,
you
like,
like
finally
"Ooh,"
blew up.
at the end of the day? Like, were you kind of like,
I
oh,
felt
this is so
good.
much
No, I
food?
felt like there were some times where I felt like that, but my body just felt good. I had a lot
Yeah.
more energy.
Yeah.
And it was when I first started actually lifting.
When you bulk, did you do clean or dirty?
I kind of stayed in the middle, but also part-time bartending.
Okay.
And so I would eat a lot of food there. Oh my gosh. I mean, when I was working there, I was just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Like,
Whatever
make
happens.
me. I ate, it was like the 80-20 rule. It's probably more like 60-40
Yeah, okay.
for me.
All right, fair.
Because I was still drinking last year.
Mhm.
And so like alcohol on the weekends, which was just not healthy. That's why I stopped this year, just to do a whole year without it, see what the effects are. But yeah, like it was probably like a 60-40. I still ate clean at home, but I'd eat out a lot more. Yeah, I mean, I was just eating like 5 to 6 times a day, high protein, but a lot of carbs. And honestly, that's one of the things I recently discovered. On a bulk, like when you're just trying to put on muscle, you actually don't need to eat as much protein as you think you do. Like you still should go for about 0.7 grams to 1 gram per your body weight. So that should be your target. So if you're trying to hit like 200 or 215 or go up in weight, then that should be your number.
After a certain amount, a lot of people don't realize, they think more protein the better.
Yeah.
But after a certain amount, your body doesn't digest it.
Yeah.
And it just gets discarded into like fat, basically. Just kind of like anything else.
Yeah.
Any other macronutrients.
What were we just talking about? I just literally like my brain just got wiped.
Wait,
It was
I have a horrible memory too, so
anyway.
it has left us.
It's left. The train has left the
It's
station and
gone.
it's not coming back. Now I can say like prioritizing sleep, not drinking alcohol, eating kind of more like 90-10, maybe 80-20, training throughout the week and just being spontaneous with like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll get ice cream tonight or maybe I'll go out. Just eat healthy and have a variety in your diet. High protein, good carbs, not processed carbs, and not processed fats. Like you need good fats too. Like avocado, coconut oil,
Fatty
salmon,
meats,
fatty
salmon,
meats,
steak, high fat, ground beef.
Yep.
Don't just get the lean meat every single time.
Lean beef is good for protein goals, but like good fat and meats is yeah, it's a game changer. I'm so mad that I can't remember what I was saying.
So close
It like
to
just
finding
left.
it.
It was there and then it was gone.